So Matt, I know you're a true freshman. You played in 2 prior games before this one, right?
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know what the coaches had planned for you. You know, whether you knew you were going to play or not. But when both those players go down early on, like, were you expecting to get in there at some point, or were they all of a sudden like, Matt, you're in?
When I saw both of them go down, I kind of knew that I was going to go in, and there wasn't really any nervousness with it. You know, you prepare every day to go out there, so I just kind of go out there and play football and be ready to go always.
Being out there in that game, was it any different from the previous 2 games? I mean, UCF had got out to a comfortable lead, kind of let some of the backups and reserves play in the 3rd and 4th quarter, but this was different. This was early in the game, all that stuff. Did it feel different being out there at a crucial time?
Yeah, I mean, it's different than playing the later game reps when we're up by a lot more, the more meaningful reps. It's a little bit faster, and obviously it's more crucial points in the game, but same thing. It isn't very much different just because you're so used to doing everything at the same speed as everyone else out practicing and whatnot, so you're just prepared to go in there and do that when you get your number called.
Is it a little bit more special doing it at home, close to living just growing up down the street, or does it feel a little bit more special?
For sure, yeah. I always grew up a big UCF fan. Most of my family's gone here. I've had relatives who played here, so it's always been like a big thing for me. I always wanted to come here and play. So, and being a couple minutes from my high school, growing up around here, knowing everything, it's really cool.
Can you kind of touch on that a little bit more? I mean, you grew up going to games, right? Like, you went to the Peach Bowl and cheering for UCF, and grew up, going to games over here. Can you kind of talk a little bit more about how you kind of grew up with UCF?
Ever since I was a kid, my whole family's been a big UCF fan. My dad went there, my sister goes there now. I have cousins that went and played here. So it's always just kind of been, that was always the team that I cheered for, and it was always UCF, UCF, UCF. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been going to games. Like you said, I went to the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl with my dad, family, and so that's always been just a big UCF guy.
So how would you describe that feeling then when you got a chance to finally put on a UCF football jersey for the first time?
It was really cool. It was pretty awesome, just thinking about in the past growing up and really wanting to be at this point, and then it actually becoming a reality and being able to build on that.
So obviously you dream about sort of those things about playing in that stadium for that team. So does the dream match the reality, or how did it match up?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's even better in reality. Being able to see that atmosphere and playing it, and all of it, the whole experience has been great.
How has the season been able to come together for you? Obviously, as a lineman, typically most guys redshirt and they kind of have to take a year or 2 to kind of get ready to play. You're a true freshman, you're playing immediately. Things come together quickly for you, or what kind of feedback have you gotten from Coach Ellerby through this process that puts you in position to play so early?
I think it has come together a lot more, just because being able to understand the playbook, know it like the back of your hand. And Ellerby always says, if you know the playbook back of your hand, you can always play fast. And I think mentally, if you're on top of your everything you need to know, that allows you to go out there and compete at full speed. And also the older guys, JJ, Parker, Cole, Jake, Sam, all the older guys have helped me tremendously with just everything. They'll always point out things, always help me with whatever it may be when we're at practice or we're watching film or anything. So both of those have helped me a lot.
Some guys are always like, yeah, I want to play my freshman year. Was that a goal of yours, or did it just kind of happen that way?
Obviously I went out and, wanted to play and, want to compete every day and get better. But it did just kind of happen. I'm just try to go out and play my best every day, get better every day, and, that comes, and then here we are.
Was there a couple more? With Cole specifically, because you replaced him at guard, when Cole came in here, he was supposed to be a backup center, much like you were a backup center now. And so you both sort of made that same transition. Do you talk about that and sort of how has he really helped you along?
Definitely when I switched to guard, because I hadn't previously played guard. He helped me a lot with just the mental stuff and the footwork and that whole side of it, different techniques and whatnot. And then on the other side at center, I think knowing center really well allowed me to make a easy transition to guard, just because you understand what everyone's doing at center. So I already kind of knew what I had to do at guard. It was more just understanding the techniques and everything else.
Was there a moment in the game when you and Ed were maybe standing next to each other and thought, what here we are,
Yeah, I think near the beginning, after that first touchdown when he came in, looked at Ed and was like, oh, this is pretty cool. We're right in here.
So you learned how to get down the field after a touchdown and celebrate. Have you practiced that, or like you're working on your running? Or
I just ran down there, got hyped up, long touchdown pass, so head down to the end zone, celebrated.
all right.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot,
Appreciate
Matt.
it, man.
Thanks.
Take care.